All right, family. Look, I'm back in H-Town, right? So I'm on my way to share with you guys what I discovered in Ireland at their National Archives pertaining to my family. And also, man, some other stuff that took place, which you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put it all I'm gonna put everything together and make one video and put it on YouTube. And you know what? If anybody out there that can help me solve the case, right? It would be much appreciated. And I'll see if there's something that we can reward you guys with. I don't know, might be I send you my next movie first before everybody else get it or something like that, right? But and the only reason why I'm saying that because I know this is going to be a hard case to crack, but we're going to work on it, and I'm working on it now as we speak. But continue to watch the video, and you will see as we go deeper into this topic what I'm talking about. Hey, it's on. When the Moors fell in Spain, some Moors came by ship to North Ireland. Then there's a story of a King Gorman who left North Africa and settled in Ireland. And I guess it's good morning, everyone. I am here with Miss Hillary at the National Archives in Ireland, and she is a great sport, and she's willing to help me find my ancestors, Landy Mcwright. I went as far as the research in the U.S., and now I'm here in Ireland. Hello, Miss Hillary. How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
All right, great. And so she's going to give us a breakdown of how this all works.
No pressure on me then. Okay, so you are looking for your ancestor who is the father of Landy Mcwright. And Landy Mcwright was born in 1824. So realistically, his father must have travelled to the States prior to that time. Okay, so we're talking early 1820s. In terms of the research sources that we have, going back that far, it becomes more limited. So we look at civil registration, or you would call it vital registration, births, deaths and marriages. They don't start until 1864. So it's too late to capture Landy's dad, unfortunately. Non-Catholic marriages start in 1845, but again, too late. Census returns, we have them from 1821 onwards. They're all on the archives website, but unfortunately most of the 19th century were lost for different reasons or destroyed. So the earliest full census of the country is 1901. So that's 100 years after Landy's dad leaves. It's again too late. The one area that you might be able to capture some information is through church records and through land records, okay? So the trouble with the church records is we kind of need to know the religious denomination. So what do you feel your ancestor was? You feel Christian, but Catholic, Protestant?
Yeah, I'd say Baptist.
Okay, well that's good. That's good to know that. Okay, so what we can look at church records. My difficulty is that we don't have a forename for Landy's dad. Okay, so we'll start with the first two things we'll do is we're going to do a surname analysis of where we can find the Mcwrights in the middle of the 19th century, base this on a land record. And we'll then also look at sources on the American side to try and pick up something that may be where Landy's either mother or father is recorded. Okay?
Okay, that's good.
So, fingers crossed we find something.
Right.
Okay, so I'm looking at a surname site called johngrennan.com, and they do surnames. And under Mcwright, there is nothing that has appeared. You can see there's nothing that has appeared. Okay, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to do one just simply by right. Maybe I should explain that the word Mac before in a surname simply means the son of. So Mcwright means the son of Wright. But let's see, he might have put that in when he went to the States to make him a little bit more Irish. I don't know. And we look at the right. Okay, so you can see right. It is quite spread out around the country.
Okay.
But there's a real kind of concentration up in the northeast of the country. And given what you were saying about the family probably being more Baptist, I would think that is probably where your family, it's possibly where they're coming from. But we couldn't be sure. It's certainly, but you can see that.
Right.
I will give you a printout of that.
Oh, great. Okay, y'all, so check this out. This is mythology with truth in it, right? So, look, in Irish mythology, the four Moorans were Phoenicians or Moors, were monstrous sea-dwelling beings who were rivals to the Tuatha De Danann, right? God-like settlers who they settled coming from the north, or Northmen who settled in Ireland where the Moors were, right? Okay. And the four Morans, Phoenician or Moors, and represented destructive natural forces, right? They were led by figures like Balor. They were defeated by the Norsemen or the Tuatha De Danann in the Second Battle of Meg Torrig, a pivotal event that secured the stability of Ireland, meaning they took over, they won Ireland, right? The four Moran or Moors or Phoenicians were portrayed with varied, fearsome appearances, such as having a single eye, right? Pineal gland, right? The eye of Horus, the eye of Ra, right? A goat head, right? Baphomet. But some were also depicted as darkly beautiful. Talking about the Moors. So they left Ireland to come to America, and the next place that they were shown to arrive was Attiagua, Alabama, and then from Attiagua, Alabama to Wynn Parish, and that was their journey to America. An AI image of my great-great-great-great-grandfather, Landy Mcwright, who was born in 1824, along with his family. Okay, so this is the other part of the journey, right? So while I was in Europe, I got in contact with a Sari Reiner. Said we were third cousins, right? And I wanted to hear her story on how she is in Switzerland, right? And it's a wild story. So she was adopted from Vietnam, right? So apparently a family member went to Vietnam, right? Had a baby with a Vietnam woman, during the Vietnam War. And he came back to the States. And so at the age of 2.5 years old, she was adopted from Vietnam into Switzerland. And it's a whole story about Switzerland adopting, for some reason, only the black children who was born
in Vietnam, bringing them to Switzerland, which there was a whole controversy about that. But we got in touch. She doesn't know a lick of English, right? She only speaks the Dutch. But her daughter speaks English, so we were able to communicate and send some pictures. So now we're trying to find who her father is. I believe Vietnam was from 1955 to 1975, I believe. So within that time frame. So DNA test, because she really wants to know who her father is, right? Her mom put up for adoption, and, we're trying to figure out, and she needs to know this information. So if anybody that specializes in this type of genealogy search or family search, just leave me a email message. I will contact you, and let's make it happen.